My dear student, today let us discuss about teaching aids. Introduction. Any device which supports, supplements or reinforces the teaching method adopted by a certain teacher to effectively communicate certain items of information to student is known as teaching aids. The concept of teaching aid is not new and can be traced back to the 16th century when a Dutch humanist, theologian and writer Desiderius Erasmus, 1466 to 1536, advocated that children should learn through aid of pictures or other visuals and discourage memorization as a technique of learning. Similarly, John Amos Comenius, 1592 to 1670, John Jacques Rousseau, 1712 to 1778, and John Pestalozzi, 1756 to 1827, also made pioneering efforts on popularization of the use of visual and play material in teaching and learning process. The successful use of pictures and other visual aids in United States Armed Forces during World War II, 1939 to 1945, served instrumental in proving the effectiveness of instructional aids. Thereby, exponential growth in the use of teaching aids in the field of education has been widespread worldwide in educational establishments such as schools, colleges, and universities. In India, the Qatari Commission 1964 to 1966 reflected its emphasis on the need to supply teaching aids to all schools for improvement of quality of teaching, which is a great educational revolution leading to drawing out the best in the learner. Now, let us discuss about importance of teaching aids. Teaching aids are information carrier, and if used effectively, they can promote and encourage learning in teaching learning activity. Some of the important values of proper use of teaching aids are highlighted here. Number one, it helps to reduce verbalism and provides a clear concept through engagement of the different senses and thus helps to bring accuracy in learning. Number two, it motivates the students to work with more interest and zeal besides being helpful in attracting the attention as well as sustaining the interest of the student in the classroom. Thereby, it enlivens the classroom interaction. Number three, teaching aids provide variety of experience that fix up new learning in the minds of students. Number four, a good deal of energy and time of both the teachers and students can be saved on account of the use of teaching aids. Next is number five, teaching aids provide a great scope of freedom for children to move about, love, and comment upon that will stir the imagination, thinking process, and reasoning power of the students and call for creativity and inventiveness and other higher mental activities on the part of the student and thus help in the development of higher faculties among the students. Number six, it enables the teacher to follow the maxims of teaching like simple to complex, known to unknown, concrete to abstract, and many more. Then we have number seven, that is, the use of teaching aids provides a touch of reality to the learning situations. Next, we have point number 8, that is, it helps in meeting the needs of different types of students. Then we have point number 9, it provides reinforcement to learners. Next, let us discuss about the various criteria for selecting teaching aids. Teaching aids prove effective only when they suit the teaching objectives and unique characteristics of the special groups of learners. The following criteria may be kept in view while teaching aids is selected. Number 1, The aids should be integrated with learning. It should be an integral part of educative process and appropriate to the curriculum of the class. It should not be merely recreational, but should accomplish some significant end and coordination with day-to-day lesson. Point number 2, it should be according to the age, intelligence, and experience of the students. It should neither be too simple nor too complex. It should suit their physical, psychological, intellectual, emotional, and economical background of the learner. Number 3, the language should be familiar and comprehensible to the pupils. Next we have point number 4, that is, it should be truthful, accurate, and realistic, and should be a substitute for reality. Next is point number 5, it should be motivational and highly informative. The aids used should attract and capture the attention of pupils. Next is point number 7, it should be available where and when required. And then we have the next point, it should have desirable utility and should be according to the local condition and needs. Now let us discuss about the difference between teaching method and teaching aids. Teaching method is the style of presentation of content in classrooms. It is just a way of teaching, while teaching aids is any device which supports, supplements, or reinforces the teaching method adopted by a certain teacher to effectively communicate certain items of information to students, like I have mentioned earlier. Now let us have a broad overview of the classifications of teaching aids. Teaching aids can be broadly classified as audio aids, visual aids, audio-visual aids, and activity aids. By audio aids, it means that those aids that can be heard but not seen, which include language laboratories, radio, sound distribution system set, tape, and disco recording. Visual aids. Any instructional aids that can be seen but not heard are called visual aids. Examples: graphic aids, which include cartoons, charts, comics, diagrams, flashcards, graphs, maps, photographs, pictures, and posters. Next, we have display board. Display board include bulletin, flannel board, magnetic board, and pegboard. The third is three-dimensional aids, which include models, globe, diorama, and specimens. And the next visual aid is chalkboard. Next we have silent films, slide projectors. Then we come to audio-visual aids. By definition here, we can say that audio-visual aid is an instructional aid which can be heard as well as seen and which initiate or stimulate and reinforce learning. And the examples are television, printed material with recorded sound, sound film strips, overhead projector, and films. Next we come to the last kind of teaching aid, that is activity aids. Those aids in which students learn by engaging in some useful activities are called activity aids. These aids facilitate learning through sight and sound as well as through doing. It includes field trip, demonstration, experiment, and dramatization. The teaching aids mentioned right now are further classified as projected and non-projected teaching aids. The projected teaching aids may include silent films, slide projector, sound film strips, overhead projectors, and films. And the remaining are included inside the non-projected teaching aids. Now, let us discuss about the advantages for effective use of teaching aids. Number 1, teaching aid reinforces what we are saying. It ensures that our point is understood. Number 3, it signals what is important or essential. Number 4, it enables students to visualize or experience something that is impractical to see or do in real life. Number 5, it engages students' other senses in the learning process. Then we have number 6, it facilitates the different learning style. Now let us come to the suggestion for effective use of teaching aids. Number 1, the teachers should be well skilled in the use of aid. Aids should be actually taught and not merely displayed. It should not substitute but supplement the teacher work. While using the aid, active participation of students should be sought. There should be adequate preparation on the part of the pupil. They should be told what they should look for. The pupil should ask questions, answer questions, comment and discuss. Then we have number 3, the aid should be properly protected and preserved, for nothing discourages or mars the interests of the student more than a spoiled pictures, broken model or a correct slide. Then we have point number 4. The teaching aid should be located conveniently so that it is easily available when need arises. The teacher should keep the aid at such a place as is easily accessible and find no difficulty in getting it when he requires it. Then we have the last point, that is number 5. The teaching aids should be evaluated at regular intervals in order to know their use and effect on learning. So, we can conclude our today's lesson by saying that teaching aid is an important tool used by a skilled teacher to cause a meaningful learning in the student by engaging the learner to actively participate in the educative process. However, improper and unplanned use of teaching aids can have negative effect on the learning outcome. So the teachers need to be well versed with the broad classification of teaching aid and should be very judicious in selecting the most appropriate teaching aids to be used for imparting a particular lesson, such that teaching aids will render great help in enabling the teachers to achieve the instructional objectives.